We loaded up more than 100 kilos of fishing gear and spearfishing gear into a Cessna Grand Caravan that holds only 12 people. It's a pretty weird feeling taking off from a very small military airport in Ensenada, Mexico, in a very small plane that was completely overloaded with gear. Enfrente? We're heading out to Cedros Island, which is in Baja, California, and about 350 miles south of the San Diego-Mexico border. And our goal is to spearfish for some trophy fish. We're specifically looking to get some yellowtail over 40 pounds and hopefully some grouper. After we take off, we fly over 200 miles of open ocean where we see dozens of fin whales and their calves and even some large schools of tuna boiling on baitfish down below. As we come into land, we make a tight turn on our approach, and outside the plane window we see a large school of yellowtail right outside the kelp bed next to the airport. The excitement immediately picks up and we all begin to talk about how we can get onto boats as soon as possible. But we're also concerned that we're going to land this plane okay. Out at the dock, we begin loading our boats with gear so we can head out to the kelp beds off the airport runway in hopes to see the yellowtail that had been out there recently. So far, the weather looks absolutely beautiful, 90-degree weather, no wind, flat oceans, and we can't wait to get out there. On the way to our first dive, we pass by a salt plant where barges bring the processed salt from the nearby town of Guerrero Negro, where it's not deep enough for the large ships to get into the harbor. Finally, we arrive at the point and we begin suiting up so we could hopefully get one of those yellowtail we saw from the plane. The water clarity looks decent, not great, but good enough to see some fish. There's a ton of small fish in the water, which is a very good sign, but the current is moving really hard, which is going to make the diving a little more difficult. Now that we've come this far, regardless of the conditions, it's time to go look for that 40-pound yellowtail that we came here for. After searching for an hour and not seeing much, we get a little bit discouraged, even though we see a bunch of large calico bass. Thankfully, you just have to be out there at the right time, and that right time is about to happen. As my brother goes down for another dive, I see out to my left 3 yellowtails swimming up to us right out of his view. Of course my brother doesn't see him, so I turn and begin to follow to get some good video. The large yellowtail are as curious of me as I am of them. They don't stick around for very long though, and they lose interest in me and I run out of breath. Moments later I look down below where Andy is lining up for a shot. Finally, after an hour of diving, hopefully this is the fish that we've been looking for. His shot misses, and now I feel the urge to get out of the water so I can go get my own gun. Not more than a minute after he reloads his gun, I spot another yellowtail swimming right up to us. And he misses. He must be using his crooked spear again. I get tired of seeing yellowtails swimming around all over the place and miss shots, so I get out of the water to go get my own gun. As soon as I get out of the water, Andy pops his head up to tell me that he has a fish on. It's a nice sized yellowtail and the shot looks good. I can see the slip tip all the way through the yellowtail and holding the fish on. All he has to do is go grab the fish and get it on the boat. And just like that, the fish miraculously comes off. I don't know how it came off, but off goes the fish. I guess today is not going to be the day that we get that fish that we came here looking for. Thankfully, we have 4 more days of fishing. Some days you don't get the fish you came for, but it's still been an absolutely beautiful day in Baja, Mexico.